Let's look at the 25 best employers for career growth in India. But I must tell you, ranking alone is not enough. So I pulled off the layoffs, the open roles, and the real hiring data behind each name. So here are the top 25 employers. I'm calling them top 25 because each of them come from different industry. So ranking them is not a great idea, I guess. I think these are the top, or I must say, best 25 employers for you. The three metrics which you need to look at here are the employee rating, which is coming from Glassdoor and Ambition Box, layoff status in the last 1 year, and the open roles which each company is having. A few names which I would like to call out. I want you to go through with this entire metrics. Take your time. If you want to pause the video, do pause the video. But one name which I would like to call out here is NVIDIA. Though it has ranked 12th in the LinkedIn, one of the topmost employer with the highest sentiment score of 4.6 and 4.7 on the ambition box, while 4.6 on the Glassdoor with zero layoffs. And one of the interesting part of NVIDIA is NVIDIA also has more than 1,000 roles open in location like Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Pune. And if you do a little deep dive, globally it has more than 2,000 roles open across places. Another company which I would like to call out is Accenture with a very high number of open job roles, which is the widest door into this list. You will also notice Bangalore, Pune, and Hyderabad. They show up for almost every single company. I think if you're not there, that's worth noting. So take pause and look at this list and the sentiment scores and the layoff report against each one of them. Okay, so this slide is important and interesting because it tells us about how India is growing as a base for a few of the major companies in the world and how companies are shifting their base and legacy roles from countries like US, Europe to India. Let me call out company like Accenture, which has 300 to 320,000 employees in India only, which is the largest workforce for Accenture in any single country bigger than the US. If you look at JP Morgan Chase, which has almost 55 to 60,000 employees in India, which is the biggest hub for JP Morgan outside the US. Similarly, the same story even for IBM, with more than 150,000 employees in India. Even few newer companies or the newer names like Marvel Technologies, Sandisk, Royal Caribbean, RTX, Stryker, Thomson Reuters, even Nvidia, which we consider as one of the best places to work, they all have set up their GCCs, which is Global Capability Centers in India, and now increasing their hiring in terms of tech roles, AI or Gen AI roles, and their core legacy roles, which they were hiring in US or other countries, but now shifting their base to India. Okay, while we see that how these companies are shifting their base from US to India, we also see a new story where within India, companies are now shifting base to tier 2 cities. Cities like Jaipur, Indore, Ahmedabad, Vizag, Coimbatore. So even most of the companies are expanding their bases here, setting up their captives and moving high tech and even niche roles to these locations. So I think it's a great news for people who live in these cities or people who live in places like Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, and belong to these cities or nearby areas. I think now there are more opportunities available in such cities. So let's do a little deep dive. And what I've done is I've divided that metrics into different sectors. So these are the six sectors: technology, banking, consulting, semiconductor, healthcare, and core engineering, aerospace, logistics, and travels. So you can focus on companies where you belong to. And if you look at the first sector, which is technology and enterprise software, you can see a few of the major names which you are familiar with. Majority of these companies are hiring software developers, AI ML engineers, cloud support engineers, data platform engineers, SaaS platform architects. If you see the number of jobs open across companies are also very high because companies like Infosys, Amazon, they are very large in numbers. But even companies like Google, Thomson Reuters, ServiceNow, they all are hiring these profiles across. If you look at the another sector, which is BFSI, companies like JP Morgan, Fidelity, Wells Fargo, MS Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, HSBC, they all are hiring big time across locations. However, being the banking company, they are concerned about the security. So you can see they are hiring data analysts, they are hiring cybersecurity analysts, cybersecurity lead, they are hiring enterprise technology specialists, financial analysts. So roles are a little different compared to what we actually saw in services company. So while in banking, roles are specific to the banking as a domain, and you can see financial fraud, KYC, anti-money laundering. So these are very domain specific role with a blend of technology. If you look at the third sector, which is professional services like into consulting like Accenture, EY, and BCG, while BCG is a very premium organization with hiring people from the premium colleges, premium B schools, again, the roles, if you see here, are very similar, like Gen AI architect, data insights, while EY is also looking for AI advisory consultant, ESG risk consultant. While Accenture is hiring for all kind of roles, and you can clearly see 8,000 different roles in Accenture's. If you look at semiconductors, hardware companies, I think that's where most of the engineers, especially electronic engineers, would like to try on their luck. If you see NVIDIA, SanDisk, HP, Marvell, they all are hiring chip architecture, VLSI design engineers, embedded engineers, and developers, firmware architects. So the jobs here are very different compared to what we were hiring for services company or what we are hiring for the other technology companies. Healthcare and life sciences, again, both Lilly and Stryker, they have their GCC here. So they are hiring domain specific technical roles. So, for example, biotech data scientist. So it means a data scientist with a biotech background, right? And medical devices software engineers, R&D quality engineers. So you can clearly see a lot of GCCs coming to India, and I will be creating a separate video on the GCCs and GCCs specific to different sectors in India and how they are expanding across. Keep watching this space. And the last sector which I would like to highlight is the aerospace, logistic and travel, where Royal Caribbean and RTX is there. While RTX is hiring aerospace system engineers, while Royal Caribbean is hiring customer technology lead, enterprise logistics specialist. So what it tells us? It tells us that each of the organization in the list of this 25 top employers are coming from a different sector and they are leading their own sector. So if you belong to a particular sector, these are the companies you should look for if you're looking for a career growth. So now let's look at another aspect of these top 25 companies where we get to know that each companies are cutting jobs within their organization. And even just today itself, I read a news in Economic Times where 35,000 tech roles maybe get chopped off from companies because of AI. So such news are sometimes discouraging, depressing, because we think whether there will be any role in the future for us or not. But I think we need to do a little deep dive and understand how this whole AI thing is playing off in terms of company stability and your career growth. Let's look at this quick graph where I have mentioned few of the companies. These are global companies, so I've included Meta as well. So if you look at Accenture, Amazon, Microsoft, SAP, Meta, they all have done layoffs in their company in the last 1 year. Like clearly you see Meta has cut down 8,000 roles, while Amazon has cut down around 30,000 and in Microsoft another around 8,000, like almost 20,000 in last 2 years. And I think I got a news recently last week only where Microsoft will cut off another 4,000 roles. SAP has also cut down a lot of roles within the company and laid off people as well. But if you look at the growth of the company, Accenture has grown by 6% last 1 year, while Amazon by 21%, which is highest. So each company is growing in their revenues, even when they are cutting a very substantial portion of their headcount. So what it really tells us, it tells us three things. One, this is done because of the efficiency, and this is not a distress situation. Companies are doing it to gain efficiency because of AI. It means there are certain kind of roles which may get redundant. And that brings us to the second point, which is the net headcount of these companies are not coming down. It means while on one side they are laying off, but on the other side they are also hiring. For example, Accenture in India is hiring big time at entry level because they think entry level people, because of AI, would be able to have similar productivity level compared to what lateral or the experienced people were offering. Similarly, all these savings from the headcount cut is getting invested into AI. So the game here is that most of the companies will expand further. They will gonna hire more in the near future, but the roles will be repurposed. To give you an example, like I recently again heard a news where I saw HSBC has recently acquired 1.2 million square feet space in Bangalore. So they are expanding their GCC in India. So it means they will going to hire more in India, and it's a kind of integrated campus with which they are coming in here. Similarly, other companies are doing the same. I heard the same news about from Uber. I heard the same news from more than 50 other GCCs who are setting up their shops in India. And they are doing it for only one reason, friends, which is to expand further and hire more. But hiring would be a little different for different roles, so it means you have to keep upgrading yourselves on skill. So this brings us to the end of this session. If you like the content of this session, do subscribe and stay in touch with us.